A few weeks ago, I went to this local tournament called EFT. It was incredibly fun, and I of course had to bring my old faithful pad. Now, I didn't really have a place to keep my USB cable, so I just kept it in my pocket, right? Huge mistake, because when I was called for my third strike set, I realized I have lost the USB cable. I ended up finding the USB cable on the floor, but it doesn't change the fact that I actually had to drop out from the tournament. Another story, a few weeks back, I had my friends over for a hangout till we bust out the good old Tekken 8 on the living room. However, the TV was so far away from the couch that we ended up sitting on the carpet because we didn't have enough cable to reach the couch. Now, none of this would ever happen if I was using a wireless controller. So what if there wasn't a need for a cable at all? This is where QRD came in, trying to break the mold with the QRD Maestro S3, a wireless alternative to the leverless controller staple. So QRD were kind enough to reach out to me and send me one of these to let you guys know everything about it. It did look a little bit bigger, but I kind of overall, I had a bit of a shaky start with it, but it's actually growing quite a bit on me. Ooh, yeah, that was nice. It's set at $170 for the regular version and $30 extra if you want to make it PS5 compatible, which is exactly what you'd expect for something like this to cost. It is pretty easy to set up if you have a cable. If you want to make use of the wireless, you have to hold down the home button and share button and pair it with your device. It is also very light, but the hardware is responsive, making it a pretty decent pad with a few catches. So it's compatible with Xbox, Switch, PC, and PS4, and this time around there is no 8-minute timeout, which is amazing. If you want to make it PS5 compatible, however, you'll have to get the PS5 wireless adapter from QRD. The button caps specifically feel a little bit too fragile and light, but that's also thanks to the custom mechanical silent switches that make the buttons feel really soft. There's a touchpad that emulates the DualShock 4 touchpad, which can help you with certain games, and overall looks great. The battery life is pretty alright. I left it on and it lasted around 7 hours on idle. It comes with multiple LED light colors to choose from, and it's incredibly light with its plastic finish. It doesn't feel too resistant, but it's just coated enough to feel presentable. The grip feels really nice on your lap, however, I wouldn't really play it on a flat surface because of the inner placement of the rubber pads. It makes it so whenever you apply pressure to the inner part of the board, the whole thing just kind of tilts back and swings around as you play. Turbo functionality is also a thing if you ever need it, and the size, I gotta say, it's pretty nice. It's this mix between small and medium, which gives you enough space to play while still providing good portability. And even though it doesn't really need it, it still features a USB cable for pairing and or charging. Now, something really interesting that this pad features is actually the phone holder, which lets you use the pad like it's a laptop, and it's kind of cool. Perfect. Hey, and you know what else it holds? That's right, a Nintendo Switch, which is kind of a crazy setup, but hey, if it works, it works. Also features 4 different latency modes, which are supposed to work better with different games. However, I would just advise you to run the automatic mode, which lets the board choose which one is best. It also has 2 SOCD modes, which are always great to have, in addition to the easy mode. Now, easy mode basically turns left plus right into neutral to facilitate half circle motions, while it turns down plus up into up to facilitate inputs like flash kick or spinning bird kick. Not necessarily legal in tournament, but could come in handy in a casual environment. Finally, it has a 3.5 jack port for audio and D-pad, right stick and left stick emulation. So when it comes to the Maestro S3, the lightweight and portability really makes it feel like it's perfect for traveling. The dedicated L3 and R3 buttons are always handy, and the slight tilt on the board makes my fingers sit in just a bit more comfortable. I just really love the freedom that it gives you. You can just like pick it up, place it whatever you want, and with a single button click, you're all good to go. It also looks pretty clean in general with its design. It comes with differently colored keycaps for your customizing pleasure, and even if you don't like the switches, it is incredibly easy to replace them. Just get a switch removal tool like this one, get it under the cap, twist it up so it pops, and then just make sure you scoop up the switch from the right side ever so gently, and it should come right off. For the new switch, just make sure the pins are aligned and pop that bad boy in. As a final note, the 8-meter range is actually pretty good if you're playing on a bigger room, even though most of the times you're not going to be playing close to that distance. There are definitely some drawbacks though. First off, eventually it's gonna run out of battery, and what it does is gonna hit you like a M-Bison dry brush because it doesn't have a battery charged display. So the only way to know when it's out of battery, it's when it dies on you mid-gameplay. Also, as mentioned before, playing this on a flat surface is not really that good of an idea. When I tried it out on stream, it was constantly tilting the whole thing during gameplay, which is not what you want to happen during a set. And it also was performing very weirdly on my first day of use. A lot of the inputs were dropping, but I didn't feel that much latency aside from when I was testing the latency modes. Truth be told, after that day it was running flawlessly, so take that as you will. Now, the buttons do feel a little bit too soft for my taste. Changing the switches definitely helped, but it also made it so that the buttons feel a little bit too thin compared to the Switch. And even though there's a lot of colors to choose from when it comes to the caps, there's only one for the up button, which takes a bigger cap. Adding to the fact that they only provide 3 caps for each color makes it so that you're kind of limited in the options that you can have when it comes to customization. Alright, so who is it for? Now, I was feeling kind of lost when it comes to this pad, but I think I got the answer. While it's not great for tournament play because of the extra setup for the wireless, or because of the threat of the battery just running out on you, even though you can plug it in and still play it like that, I feel like this pad works best at home actually, in a casual environment, relaxed, just sitting on a couch. I think in that situation, it's actually pretty good. Even though I was ready to go back into my old pad, I was actually finding myself reaching out for the Maestro more than once just because of how easy it is to get it to work. It's a great comfort pad that will become greater once the good folks at QRD really take the time to polish this bad boy up. So if you're interested in getting yourself one, there's a link in the description for you guys. Hey, and if you do get one, let me know how you like it. So I want to thank QRD again for the opportunity. It's been a wild ride, but I gotta put some glide on my stride. I'll catch you guys at the next vibe. See ya.